You ready?
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the meeting of July 13th, 2017. I'd like to call the roll call then.
Sure. Deputy Mayor Chair.
Here.
Council Members Long.
Here.
Napolitani.
Here.
Shepherd. And Mayor Siciliano.
Here, everybody please rise for a pledge of allegiance and then remain standing for a moment of silent prayer thereafter. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mayor, I'd like to offer a moment of silence on the sudden loss of your sister-in-law and Gavin Siciliano's wife yesterday.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that, John. Yeah, my sister-in-law Penny suddenly passed yesterday of a heart failure. 2 sons are adult children of my brother, and so we wish them the best of luck, and they're in our thoughts today. So tonight, get to my front page. Okay, the notice requirement of the Open Public Meeting Act for this meeting has been satisfied. A copy of the only notice is sent to the Coast Asbury Park Press, posted in Town Hall, and filed in the office of the Municipal Clerk on December 29th, 2016. There are 2 fire exits. One to my right will take you out to the front parking lot, and one in the rear there would also take you out to that parking lot as well. If you have a cell phone, now's a good time to turn it off. You can keep the, if you want to take pictures of us for any reason, you can do that, but the volume has to be turned off. If you need to make a call or anything, just kindly go out into the hallway and do your business there. We have no ceremonies tonight, but we want to welcome everybody for being here. I'll go down the line and see if we have any statements from our council members. John, do you have anything for us?
Yeah, I apologize for not being there on July 3rd for the fireworks. I heard it was a great event. I had a honeymoon, so I couldn't get out of that one. But I heard you guys had an awesome crowd. Somewhere in the vicinity of 3,000 to 5,000 people, which is huge for Ocean Township. That was a great night.
It was a great night. Thank you, John.
Yep.
Donnie, have anything for us?
No, I don't.
Great. Rich?
Just to thank Donna for pulling everything together for our fireworks display on July 3rd. We had an opportunity to see a person who's a homegrown product sing at that event, John Patillo, and he did a great job. Other than that, I don't have anything, Mayor.
Thank you. Rob?
I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your marriage. Donna, good job. Rich, you're doing great too. The one thing I have is we had a planning board meeting, what are we in? The end of June for development on the end of Cindy Lane. That got carried. We heard testimony that got carried, so there'll be a follow-up meeting this month.
Great. Thank you. We're introducing for the first time, first meeting here, Mike Michillo, our new city manager. Welcome, Mike, aboard. And we expect many great things from Mike. Mike comes to us from a tremendous background of being a manager in several different towns, some larger than us, one notably Lakewood. I figured if he can do the job in Lakewood, he can do it anywhere. Mike was there for a while. Also our neighboring town of Tinton Falls, which is similar to us as well. Same form of government. So he's very familiar with how we operate and what we do. And he's a local boy. He's a Long Branch guy, born and raised there, so he knows the town. He's always wished to live in Ocean Township, living in Long Branch. I'm just kidding, Long Branch friends. Just teasing.
No, he's not.
Yes, I am. But we welcome you aboard, and we're glad to have Mike with us tonight. So, Marty, you have anything for us?
Just condolences to you and your family, and the loss of your sister-in-law, and to Donna, and everybody else in the council. Great job on the fireworks. John, we missed you, but you were apparently having fireworks of your own.
I knew he was going to say that.
I'm not going to touch that at all.
No.
Okay, the
Better put it valid.
purpose of the public portion of this solely asks questions to understand resolutions and vouchers that appear on the agenda, and is not an occasion for a public hearing on an ordinance. All questions not relating to an item on the agenda should be asked during the public comments portion and at the conclusion of the meeting. Does anybody have any questions about any resolutions or anything on the consent agenda? Now would be the time to come up to the microphone, state your name and address for the record. If it's something other than just township business, you can do that at the end of the meeting. We'll let you come up then. Just state your name and address again, sir.
Paul Merowitz, 117 Cedar Village
For how much
Boulevard.
longer?
Ocean for 5-6 weeks.
All right, let's hear it for Paul Marowitz. We're gonna miss you. We are, we're gonna miss you, Paul.
Thank you. Thank you. I need to get a picture of you guys in your shirts.
Yeah.
We had one for you, you could take it with you.
That's exactly what Bob said.
You gotta promise to take it with you.
Quick question. The release of the maintenance guarantees for Rolling Meadows, has that been discussed with the homeowners association at Rolling Meadows? And do they fully concur that those maintenance bonds should be released?
This was, I don't know if Mike was in on that one though, but our engineer, yes, and Roland Meadows, all were in on this. You know, we haven't had any other requests from them as far as releasing it, so we're
Okay.
satisfied enough for that. Yeah.
Good, I thought that might relate to another development that's coming up too.
Oh, okay. That'll be down the road, I'm sure. Anybody else on the resolutions or consent agenda? Now's the time. Nobody? Okay. You don't have an agenda? Yes, right up here. If you come on up and I'll let you take a look at it before I move on. So, just for what's on the resolutions for now, then at the end of the meeting, if you have comments about anything else, you'll have an opportunity to come up. Any of these items you have any comment on or you wish to be heard on, let me know now.
You were at the workshop, these are the same things that were discussed at the workshop.
Right. Okay. All right. So, tonight we have for the minutes of June 22nd, 2017. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Chair.
Yes.
Council members Long,
Yes.
Napolitani,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
and Mayor Sosiano.
Yes, and also for the consent agenda, resolutions 17-152 through 17-166. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second.
I'll second.
Deputy Mayor Chair.
Yes.
Council members Long,
Yes.
Napolitani,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
and Mayor Sosiano.
Yes, and tonight we have for individual action vouchers in the amount of $6,952,833.27. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second.
I'll second.
Deputy Mayor Chair.
Yes.
Council members Long,
Yes.
Napolitani,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
and Mayor Sosiano.
Yes, except for those of which I have a conflict. Also, we have resolution 17-156, approve the continuance of an assessment installment payment plan for the following property owners who have become delinquent for their assessments. Block 40-7, lot 12, block 22, lot 98. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second.
You.
I'll second.
Deputy Mayor Chair.
Yes.
Council members Long,
Yes.
Napolitani,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
and Mayor Sosiano.
Yes, authorized for professional service contract for the period of July 1, 2017 through June 30, 2018 for the following: Goldworth LLP Bond Counsel and Gregory Blash Engineering Firm for Avakian. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
I'll second.
Deputy Mayor Chair.
I'm gonna abstain on the Avakian one piece of it.
Abstaining is like doing nothing.
Council members Long. Council members Long,
Yes.
Napolitani,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
and Mayor Sosiano.
Yes.
That's wrong.
17-158, authorize the sale of block 151, lot 7, Freehold Road, they got that one right, to John F. Abel, the third at a fee of $27,000. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Chair.
Yes.
Council members Long,
Yes.
Napolitani,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
and Mayor Sosiano.
Yes, 17-159, authorize a tax collector to cancel the refund tax overpayment of those taxpayers who have received favorable state tax appeal judgments. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second.
I'll second.
Deputy Mayor Chair.
Yes.
Council members Long,
Yes.
Napolitani,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
and Mayor Sosiano.
Yes, 17-160, authorize the tax collector to cancel taxes for the third and fourth quarters for block 2017, for 2017 for block 1.02, lot 33.01. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second.
I'll second.
Deputy Mayor Chair.
Yes.
Council members Long,
Yes.
Napolitani,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
and Mayor Sosiano.
Yeah, and that was for the third and fourth quarter taxes of property that we took over now through a in rem foreclosure. 17-161, authorize a professional service contract with CME Associates for environmental services at the building located at Joe Palea Park at a cost not to exceed $22,500. So we're having Just want you folks to know, we're having evaluations on, or have been done, at the White Building, we call it, on Whale Pond Road, that's in Palea Park. And we have funds dedicated from the tower revenue that can only be used for building improvements there. So it's no cost to the taxpayers for this job here, but we need to spend it down and might as well put it to good use, see if we can save that building, so we're having that evaluated. So the engineering cost alone was $22,000. The environmental cleanup so far is about $180,000. But we have the money for that. So anyway, that's four. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second?
I'll second.
Deputy Mayor Chair.
Yes.
Council members Long,
Yes.
Napolitani,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
and Mayor Siciliano.
Yes. 17162, approve change order number 1 for the sidewalk improvement along the portion of West Park Avenue, increasing the total contract price by $2,010.50 from $69,775 to $71,785.50. Again, the Saul sidewalk was just put in. It went from the senior housing development all the way down to the senior rec center. We got a $65,000 community block grant for that. So really, township money, about $4,000 out of pocket. So it was worthwhile. We were able to get that done before the end of June. They told me, Mayor, if you can get it done before the end of June, you can have the money. We rushed in, we got it done, it looks great. Anyway, so little detail item there was about $2,000 more than what we anticipated. That's what we're going with. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second?
I'll second.
Deputy Mayor Chair.
Yes.
Council members Long,
Yes.
Napolitani,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
and Mayor Siciliano.
Yeah, and 17163 is to authorize the payment to Fernandez Construction for getting the work done for us for the sidewalk improvement along the portion of West Park in the amount of $71,785.50. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
I'll second.
Deputy Mayor Chair.
Yes.
Council members Long,
Yes.
Napolitani,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
and Mayor Siciliano.
Yes, so 17164. Approve the purchase and installation of a raindrop trunk slide at the Ocean Township Community Pool from MRC, state contract number 16, Fleet 00121, at a cost not to exceed $18,663.32. So we have this in the next ordinance that you're going to see below it, part of our bond ordinance. We're doing a lot of renovations at the Ocean Township Pool, and we're having the, I guess it's the entertainment pool, kiddie pool, if you will, wading pool. There's a bunch. The activity pool, thank you from the audience back there. So the activity pool, we're upgrading that, taking out the little wading pool, putting in the activity pool. And one of the items that were really popular within the bid was very expensive. By doing it outside the bid, for some reason, we're able to get this one item a lot less. So we did it outside of that and save money. So someone please offer 164.
I'll offer.
Second?
I'll second.
Deputy Mayor Chair.
Yes.
Council members Long,
Yes.
Napolitani,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
and Mayor Siciliano.
Yes. So tonight for adoption, we have ordinance number 2298. Vin, will you read the title?
Bond ordinance providing for various capital improvements, appropriating $883,500 and authorizing the issuance of $620,825 worth of bonds or notes to finance a portion of the cost.
Okay, someone please open the public hearing on ordinance 2298.
I'll open the public hearing.
I'll second it.
Deputy Mayor Chair.
Yes.
Council members Long,
Yes.
Napolitani,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
and Mayor Siciliano.
Yes, anybody wishing to be heard on ordinance 2298, kindly step up to the microphone and state your name and address for the record. Seeing or hearing no one, someone please close the public hearing on ordinance 2298.
I'll close the public hearing.
I'll second it.
Deputy Mayor Chair.
Yes.
Council members Long,
Yes.
Napolitani,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
and Mayor Siciliano.
Yes, action please on ordinance 2298.
Move to approve ordinance 2298.
Second?
Second.
Deputy Mayor Chair.
Yes.
Council members Long,
Yes.
Napolitani,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
and Mayor Siciliano.
Yes. We also have, for introduction, good, I didn't see that. Looked like it went right
I
into
know.
adoption. Said, already? We didn't even introduce these. So for introduction tonight only, ordinance number 2299. Vin, would you read the title, please?
A bond ordinance providing for various improvements, appropriating $526,000 and authorizing the issuance of $499,700 bonds or notes to finance a portion of the cost and directing the special assessment of those costs.
Okay, so that'll be for introduction. Again, that has to do with our sidewalk. It's really a pass-through cost. Sidewalk Improvement Assessment District. We pass it on to the homeowner, they pay it, then we bond for it, then we get the money back. So anyway, that will, someone please offer to introduce ordinance number 2299.
I'll introduce.
And I'll second
Second.
it.
Deputy Mayor Chair.
Yes.
Council members Long,
Yes.
Napolitani,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
and Mayor Siciliano.
Yes, and that'll have its public hearing at the August 3rd meeting, 8/3. Also for introduction tonight, we have a new ordinance we're introducing here. We're amending our Housing Ordinance number 2300. Vin, would you read the title?
An ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 7 of the revised general ordinances of the Township of Ocean entitled Property Maintenance and Housing.
Okay. Someone please introduce ordinance 2300.
I'll introduce ordinance 2300.
And I'll second it.
Deputy Mayor Chair.
Yes.
Council members Long,
Yes.
Napolitani,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
and Mayor Siciliano.
Yes, and that too will have its public hearing at the August 3rd meeting. At this time, if anybody has anything for germane to Ocean Township itself, Ocean Township business, or anything complimentary of us, now's the time to come up to the microphone and state your name and address for the record.
My name is Edward Redmond. I live at 19 Wanamassa Point Road. I'm here to speak about an ordinance I guess was brought up last month, 2296, extending, I guess, the policy for keeping dogs on properties and on leashes when they're not on their property and picking up their waste. And it apparently was supposed to be extended to cats, and that was then either abandoned or pushed on. I'm supporting this because in my neighborhood there are, I would say, at least 10 to 15 cats, either owned or stray. That means every other day I'm picking up cat feces from my property. Before I mow the lawn, I must check every single time. At least 3 times I've had cat vomit on my walkway, which is causing myself or my wife to slip, especially when it gets dark in the fall or in the winter because we can't see it there. We regularly have cats sitting on our front porch, on our deck, on our cars. And what we're really asking is for it to have a fair policy for cat owners as it is to have for dog owners. We're not asking for anything else other than that. I have a number of friends who have cats, a number of friends who have dogs. We're just really asking for it to be a fair policy because there's not really anything I can do
Right.
to prevent them from coming onto my property. I've been told by cat owners I should put mothballs down. But why should my property smell like mothballs when you could leave your cat on your property or in your house and take care of those things? Really, it's also a health issue. Specifically, cat feces is one of the most contagious in terms of diseases that are in it. They can come into contact with other animals, rabies and so on, from raccoons and whatnot. So I'm here to support that idea. If that one cannot be passed, obviously something else that would allow me to maintain my property without having to take care of other people's
Yeah,
animals.
absolutely. We pulled ordinance 2296 because it had portions of it which was a little drastic, and it required, something a little inhumane to the animals. And really the intent was animal control was what we have in there. So we were reviewing the other options to make it less burdensome for the neighbors also that still live in those neighborhoods. So we'll work on that for you. And we appreciate your comments. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? State your name and address for the record.
Sure. Christine Levine. I live at 17 Wanamassa Point Road, Ocean, and I'm actually
Same thing.
same thing.
I'll bet. That's all right,
Neighbors
you can say
with Ed, and I have exactly the same problem. There's the 15 cats. They're constantly
So you
on
guys
my
have a
deck.
colony over there now, I guess, on Wanamassa Point. I knew they were a few blocks down. I didn't know they were over there as well. You can come up and we're gonna let you get on TV when she's done. It's good to get
Yeah.
everybody in on the record, so it's fine.
Okay. Yeah, so basically I have cat feces all over my yard. I have them roaming around. I have them peeing all over my yard. I just got my yard re-sodded and, did a lot of landscaping, and to kind of go around and have to pick things up and deal with cat pee, which lasts a long time.
Who's feeding them? Somebody must be feeding them on your
Yeah,
street.
there's maybe one particular neighbor who's got probably like 8 cats, and so he lets them roam in and out of his property, of his house, and it just, everybody who has a dog, they're on a leash,
Right.
they pick up, any dog feces, and they're super respectful, and I just think that it should be the same for cats. I mean, something so that they're not on other people's property and defecating. It's not.
Okay, I appreciate that.
It's not nice. I like cats
Yeah.
and I like dogs. It's not about that. I just don't like
Yeah,
to have
right,
it
yeah.
on my property and having to clean it up
Okay.
every day.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Gentleman on camp.
My name's David Nostrand. I live at 1411 Camp Avenue, and I go through the same issues that Christine and Ed have mentioned. Going out to my car in the morning, there's cat feces on my driveway, or in the window boxes that lead to the basement. On the sidewalk, sometimes there's cat vomit, and there's definitely some folks on the street that feed them. So
Okay. We'll look into that area again also. Thank you.
Hi, good evening. Jerry Maurer, 11-1 Mossad Point Road. Cats, same thing, but hoping to get some insights on 2296. Can you elaborate on the basis, or where did it start? Why?
So it started just like because we had other folks in your neighborhood, not in your street, come in and they were burdened by the exact same thing. The cats lounging on their chairs and lawn chairs and things like that, and they were overrunning the neighborhood. So we realized we had to do something for cat control as well. So we tried to piggyback it with the dog ordinance. The only problem with that was there was a clause in there that they'd be picked up by our agency and brought to the SPCA, and the non-domesticated, if they weren't claimed within 7 days, would be euthanized, and created and I understand, I live with a woman who is a cat lover, and I appreciate that, and so we were going to do something different, maybe do the trap neuter release program, and maybe have them colonize somewhere else, take them off out of the neighborhood. So that's what we're looking into doing now for it.
What area were the complaints coming from?
A few blocks closer to in that general neighborhood, but a couple blocks away from you.
Okay. And then, can you give us a sense of timing? You said some tweaks maybe to.
Well,
2296?
we're still discussing to have people coming in early fall for the trap, neuter, and release program, and see if we can establish other areas they're going to colonize them, maybe up in the sandhills or whatever. If they're going to go out and feed and have those colonies, do it so it's not so much in the neighborhood. So we're still working on that. So within a month or two, we'll hopefully have something else in place.
Because certainly hoping to impart that, we're in the peak of summer, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
We're out in our yards, farther along in the year, start to spend more time inside, but it impedes on us. We lose our right to enjoy our yard. And so certainly would hope the council would act expeditiously in timing to acknowledge and protect our property rights, because we have no way to keep the cats off. Mothballs, all kinds of things. There are a whole host of things you can find, whether it's on the internet or through the Humane Society. But they'll tell you, well, it's probably not going to work, but you might want to try this.
Right.
And that's a burden that we don't deserve, or we don't relinquish. So that being said, can you do anything to expedite the timing and
Well,
move
we can
forward?
try to pick up within the next month or two, so we can put something in place for you.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, Chair. Thank you. Anybody else? Come on up to the microphone and
Wait, Paul.
wait, Paul. You got some young lady in the back. Oh, she's just working her way up. Okay.
He's going to be a while.
You're gonna be a while.
Yeah.
Paul,
We got to get our shots in now. It's only 5 weeks. It's only going to be 2 more meetings.
We canceled the August 3rd meeting.
Paul, where are you moving to?
Texas.
Really?
Do we have an animal control officer in Ocean Township?
We have animal control service through the SPCA this year.
And what are their responsibilities?
To answer calls of distressed animals, packs, colonies, things like that. Just the same thing.
But not cats that are straying on
Well,
property.
this ordinance 2296 would have directed them to do that, to collect the stray cats.
So as of this date, any cat owner can let their cat roam freely
Well,
throughout their
technically, they're
neighborhoods.
supposed to be licensed.
Technically
Yeah,
or realistically?
they should be.
Okay.
That's the ordinance.
And
right
what
now.
does a resident do if they see a cat that's not collared with a license?
They can call us, and then we can take it from there.
So a resident who has a problem with roaming cats should report it to the township.
Just like what they're doing now.
Well, they haven't provided you with some of the critical information.
Well, I think I got the salient details of it here, what the
Okay.
problems are.
Okay. I hope that helps.
He plays a lawyer on TV. He did stay at a Holiday Inn last night, though, if you need any other advice.
I was reading online NJ.com the other day, and there was a article that said yeshiva sued over huge fire at allegedly illegal dorm. This appeared July 12th, NJ.com. I'm just going to read a little bit of
All
this.
right, but do me a favor, look at him, don't keep looking at me. Look at Marty, he's our attorney. You keep
I am,
making
pay-
eye-
I
you're
am,
engaging
pay-
my
I am
eyes.
paying respect to the mayor.
I appreciate
You know,
that.
I think you should pay respect. I think that's the exact way. The mayor, no, respect, he doesn't have to respect.
Go ahead, Paul, I'm sorry, go ahead.
An insurance company based in Bergen County filed suit against the yeshiva, alleging the Jewish Study Institution blamed for a fire that destroyed a house where 27 students were illegally rooming. As I read the article, it appears, although it doesn't say Yeshiva Gedola Ne'esh Yaakov, it does refer to a Yeshiva Gedola of Lakewood, and it refers to a Yeshiva Gedola of Lakewood. I assume it's the same. As I read this, it sort of struck a chord, because if I remember correctly, at the Board of Adjustment hearings for Yeshiva Gedola Ne'esh Yaakov, 1515 Logan Road, there were a number of residents that raised the question as to what was the relationship between the yeshiva and the illegal dormitory. And again, my recollection, which could be wrong, was that the school was not aware of it. In fact, I actually found an article in the paper that said Rabbi Shlomo Lesson of Yeshiva Gedola Ne'esh Yaakov told the press that school officials weren't aware that students were living in the house. To me, it raises a question. I don't know. Either they rented the house or they didn't rent the house. Maybe the insurance company is wrong. Maybe the rabbi forgot. I don't know. It's a question that's in my mind. I was doing some research for some state funding for a private company that I'm involved with, and I was reading the 2016 New Jersey Economic Development Authority annual report. In the annual report, it stated that the NJEDA approved refinancing of a $3 million loan for 911 Somerset Avenue, Lakewood. Okay? And in reality, what it was approval of an application by Yeshiva Gedola for refinancing of a loan that they had outstanding so that they could purchase 911 Somerset Avenue. Checking the Ocean County Tax Board records, it looks like the yeshiva bought 911 Somerset on June 16th, 2016 from HTR Somerset LLC for $4.4 million. More interesting is that HTR Somerset LLC bought the property for $1 from Somerset LLC of the same address as HDR Somerset LLC. Because of the statutes in the state of New Jersey, we have no idea who the principals are of those LLCs. But again, my recollection of the testimony, and I haven't read the transcripts again, was that they said that they had leased 911 Somerset Avenue, and
Who's that?
the yeshiva had leased 911 Somerset.
The one that's gonna be on Logan Road. Those
Well,
folks?
no, the Yeshiva Gedola Ne'esh Yaakov was originally housed at 911 Somerset Avenue.
I just wanna make sure there's a
And they-
connection to Ocean Township here.
It's the same institution because they testified that they were at 911 Somerset,
Okay.
had lost their lease, and they had to be in by September of 2016, which was one of the points of contention.
So they were the leasees.
Leasees, but then it appears that sometime later on in the year, they bought the property. Okay. In looking at the supporting material that the NJEDA provided me on an OPA request, it said, Yeshiva Gedola Ne'esh Yaakov is a post-high school educational institution founded by Rabbi Shlomo Feifel Schustel in August 2014. The school offers a 4-year undergraduate program in Talmudic Studies. The students of the program graduate with a Bachelor of Talmudic Studies degree. Enrollment for the 2016-2017 school year is 130 students. if memory serves me correct, is it stipulation agreement, Mr. Arbus, or court decision was that 1515 Logan could only house up to 80 students, 92? Whatever the number was, it certainly wasn't 130, because I believe the testimony said it could house up to 120. So it raises a question in my mind. If they've got 130 students, why are they moving the school to a facility that can't accommodate 130 students, especially if they expect growth in the future? The application that they also filed with the EDA, this is September 2016, indicated that they had currently, at that time, 21 employees, and that they would grow to 35 employees within the next 24 months. Again, my recollection, which could be incorrect, was that they were going to have 5 employees.
But you're talking about 9/11 Sunset, whatever, we're talking about.
It's the same
It
institution.
may not be the same operation. In other words, maybe they're only gonna take 80 with 5 employees. We don't know any of that. I'm more curious why they'd spend $4 million and then move.
Right.
I don't think they're moving everybody if that's what they're gonna do. I think there might be opening another.
There are
yeshiva
a
here.
lot of unanswered
because-
questions here.
No, the point is, it's kind of like Rutgers has many different camps. They have, so many thousand in this one. Just because they have this one over here doesn't mean they have the same so many thousands there either. You just can't presuppose it's going to be the same number of employees. It's got to be different because there's a court order says they can only have X amount. Paul?
Supposition.
Well, but everything's supposition. Right now, they're not in the property on Logan Road.
And-
Hold it, it may very well, or, I'm not saying, I have no idea, but it may be that while they were litigating this case and facing a lot of opposition, at that point, maybe they purchased this other property and decided to go there and not come here after the case settled. We don't know. So
Would-
until the next shoe drops, we have no idea what.
Which raises another question. The testimony indicated that there was a purchase agreement for the property. Okay?
For 1515.
1515 Logan Road. We now are well aware of the fact that the property is still owned by Zebra Properties. So there's really a question as to what happened to the purchase contract for the property, and is that valid or invalid given that they bought the other property in Lakewood?
Well, I don't see how you can only purchase one property. I think you can buy as many as you have pockets to buy. The fact that they haven't closed on that thing, to me, no news is good news. No activity is good activity, I guess. I mean, I'm not going to go over there and prod him and say, hey, let's hurry up and get the show on the road here. He can move at his pace if he's, maybe they're rethinking like Marty said. Maybe they're not getting it, who knows?
Paul, the information that you have, that you've obtained, if you want to provide me with copies of that, I'll take a look at it. And to the extent something happens in the future and I think that's relevant, we'll deal with it. But right now, nothing's happened, so, there's nothing.
I understand that, but as I was reviewing this, the apparent discrepancies could be real, or, as Chris explained, they could be two different institutions or two branches of the same institution. We don't know.
Well,
Okay.
you mentioned the rabbi. Is it the same rabbi? That's not Rabbi Lesson. Who's the rabbi that you said?
Rabbi Lesson there's two positions. One's the Rosh Yeshiva, and the other is the executive director.
But the rabbi you mentioned.
Rabbi Lesson, who gave testimony, was the executive director of Yeshiva Gedola. Rabbi Schustel is the Rosh Yeshiva. Okay? Whether the press gets that correct and understands the difference between the two
He's not writing.
is a matter of conjure.
Press isn't writing it down over there.
He meant the Asbury Park.
You want me to spell that?
He meant the Asbury Park press con.
Leave him
It
alone.
could be fake news, but what I'm saying is,
You reading my notes?
we don't know what.
I just wanted bring it to your attention
No, good stuff.
because I think it's really important to know, because as a resident, I'm concerned about testimony that's given before a Board of Adjustment, for which those of you who've served on the Board of Adjustment know when you give testimony at a Board of Adjustment meeting, you do it under oath. And therefore, I assume it's truthful. So to me, it's an apparent discrepancy that I really look for an answer.
So, right, we'll have Marty look into that, maybe to review the records and see if any, whatever you give him was consistent with testimony given, and see what it does for, us.
No, you said NJEDA.
Yeah, the EDA is providing me the attachment to those applications, which they didn't provide because they've got certain, let's call it, hurdles that they have to go through to provide that information. Although, at least under my perspective, they are eligible for Oprah, and within 7 days they should have redacted appropriate information, and they're beyond 7 days at this point.
See, Vinny's
But
not the
trust
only
me,
one.
I'll press you for that. I'll press them.
Ah, poor Vin.
Don't press me too much.
Thank you, Paul. Yes, young lady in the back. Come on up. Just come up to the microphone because we're taped and they will never hear you.
Okay, I
Yes.
would have gotten dressed.
Name and address.
Just on,
You're gonna
oh, I'm
say your
sorry.
name and address?
Donna Arvello. I'm at 1001 Grove Street, Ocean, New Jersey.
Yeah, thank you, Donna.
Hey, you're welcome. On this note, I mean, if they do move in and have the school there, is there a way you can tell if they go over the limit of students?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah,
you'll
yeah,
be able
yeah.
to.
We have a fire marshal that's keeping a close eye on everything.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah, because I'm right around the corner from there.
Mhm.
What I'm really here for is I heard that there's a Wawa being proposed for the corner of the northeast corner of Route 35 and
Yes.
Deal Road. What's happening with that?
So, update on that. The property, again, I'll recap, is privately owned, always has been, the 35, it's about 30 acres.
Back up.
Yes.
Wasn't it rezoned illegally?
No,
back-
never
back
rezoned
when?
illegally, ever rezoned
Okay,
illegally.
where did that come from then?
That's somebody out in the public wanted to say it was rezoned.
Oh, thank
Rezoning
you.
doesn't happen illegally because it goes to the scrutiny of our attorneys before we can rezone. And so, you know, they're subject to the law, of course.
Keep your attention with the mayor.
So they're not going to do anything illegal. It was rezoned several times to try to accommodate certain developments. And then finally rezoned again, and then arguably by the last owner, you know, we're in a 12-year lawsuit with them. They're arguing that we rezoned it so constrictive that they can't develop it. We don't think so, but that's their position. And so hence it hasn't been developed, but they have a contract purchaser for it who wants to develop the property the way it was originally zoned 50 years ago, with the front piece commercial, it's on the highway, makes sense, absolutely, and the back piece residential, it's back there closer to residential, that makes sense as well. So with that,
That's debatable.
the contract purchaser brought in a set of plans. I've seen a couple iterations from different developers, you know, on plans for
Over
that
the
site.
years.
But this one, he brought in, and it had several tenants on there. And again, it's his prerogative who he gets for a tenant because he's got the $10 million to buy the property. I don't. So he's going to make sure he has anchors in there. It's going to make sure it's profitable. But anyway, one of them was a Wawa, one's a LA Fitness. One of his prospective tenants was a Chick-fil-A. There's a small Turning Point restaurant, was very nice, and a hotel. And then there's
Hotel.
72.
Hotel?
A hotel,
Ocean
yeah.
Township needs a hotel?
You'd be surprised. We do need a hotel, not a motel. We need a hotel. Anyway, and in the back there are 72 townhomes, price point around 500,000.
72.
72
That's,
homes,
how big is that property?
30 acres.
Down from how many?
Down from. Oh, let me back up. Before that, I had a proposal for the 10 acres developed commercial and 255 apartments back there.
Right.
And so the 72 homes is better than the 255 apartments.
Oh, we're talking the corner of Deal Road and Route 35. What is this looking like, and how do we?
Well, they'll come to the planning board ultimately with a plan. The plan they brought to us, we had a presentation. You can find it online.
Oh.
You can see a small version of it if you go to my mayor's page, Mayor Chris Siciliano. I have a video, 2-minute video, but it shows you the site. With this, you have to know they propose about a couple of $1 million in road improvements, which are sorely needed on Deal Road. Oh, you don't think they need road improvements?
Oh, well,
You live
are
there.
you I know, are you talking, clover leaves and everything?
I'm talking
That which
a
was-
far side jug handle and a third lane, so you can kind of moves that traffic on Deal Road where it queues up and blocks everything up all the way back to Well Pond
Oh,
Road.
so they're gonna cut into the property?
Yeah, so from Logan right on up to 35 would be a third lane also. It gives people a chance to separate. But, there's a lot of traffic east of 35. And people east of 35 use Deal Road. Whether there's something built there or not, they're going to use Deal Road. It's their only outlet to get out from my neighborhood, your neighborhood, their neighborhoods that go Deal Road. And if you're going to get gas, you're going to go up Deal Road. If you're going to get groceries, you're going to go to Deal Road and 35. If you're going to get any of your services, you're going to do that anyway. In my opinion, I don't see it bringing any more traffic from that side of the highway.
But if you're putting 72 homes, a
They're going to be living there.
And
Well, nobody's going to say, let me come off the Parkway, go down 35, let me sneak down Monmouth and come up Deal Road and then go to that hotel. I don't think anybody's going to do that.
well, if they're at the beach.
I think they're going to come off the highway and go to the hotel.
No, you can't say that. I mean.
Well, if they're
it's
coming
not-
off the beach, they got to go home
circuits.
anyway. And if they want to stop at the hotel instead of hitting the Parkway, I'm saying that
There's-
volume of traffic's there.
It's,
No matter how you slice it, if you really think about it, if you really think hard about it, it's there.
okay, but just add 72 homes and a hotel, and you're just adding, for 72 homes, probably double the cars also.
Which will come off the
Plus in
highway.
the summer, probably triple or quadruple the cars, because you
But
have,
they're not people like I
And
live.
the
I live
hotel.
3 blocks from there. I'm not going to say, you know what, tonight's a good night. I'm going to stay at the Marriott. I'm not going to do that.
we're not gonna do that.
Right.
but
People in
every-
our neighborhood aren't going to do that. We're still going to. My point is, we live on that side of the highway. We're going to use Deal Road anyway. The traffic going into that shopping center is traffic they want to capture, most of which is already on the highway. They want to capture that. Oh, there's a hotel. I don't have to go up to the shore now. Stop here.
And the residents keep me honest, Mr.
Mhm.
Mayor, the residents that'll be in those homes would probably not exit onto Deal Road
No.
if they don't need to. They would be going out on 35.
Yeah, they have an access.
Well, they would have both accesses.
They'd have both access,
Why would you
but-
go on 35 if you wanna go the other
Yeah,
direction?
it depends where they're going, and
It
have
would
no.
be on Deal
Right.
Road.
They have the same right to use the roads as
Can't
anybody else that lives
assume,
there.
I'm just looking at the overall big picture
Mhm.
of what you're bringing there. First of all, the other things that were listed, like LA and the Turning Point, and maybe a really nice, if it's not too big, hotel, I guess I
Yeah.
can see it because the shore needs it.
Yeah.
But you know what the shore is here. You've lived here,
Yeah,
it
long time.
quadruples in volume
We
for
do.
everything.
It's funny, we have 27,332 residents in Ocean, and any summer day, we have about 70 to 90,000 cars
Sure, right.
pass through.
Right.
And it's not just because it's Ocean Township. You gotta remember, think of our 3 roadways to get east. So you have West Park Avenue, which services folks in Oakhurst and Elbron and Long Branch.
Yep.
They use it year-round anyway. In the
Yep.
summer, it swells
And
up.
36.
Deal Road, it's folks again in Oakhurst, West Deal Manor, and then Deal, Interlaken, Lock Arbor, Elmhurst. Sunset Avenue, it's Wanamassa and Asbury Park.
Right.
So unfortunately, that's the only 3 roads we have. We've had those 3 roads since I've lived here, since we moved from Asbury to Ocean. Same 3 roads, and they swell up in the
Yeah.
summer.
But by developing that, you're causing a magnet of your.
I think it's more of a stop than bringing more.
Not a stop, it's a magnet, because people are gonna live there, they have to drive there.
They have to drive there to get out of there. Anyways, what I'm saying. In other words,
There has been no formal application made by the developer. No developer has come with an application. This is nothing but a concept. This is somebody's idea.
Okay.
That's all it is.
but that concept's
But
probably
we can
coming.
adjust it when,
It's
right, when
probably
you have
coming.
input.
Donna, it's coming.
We
Right,
have-
I
Probably.
know it is,
Yeah.
that's why I'm here.
Probably
We have
coming.
an owner of property.
I understand that.
Who paid a substantial amount of money for the property. Actually, the original owner, not only
You
did he
done?
actually move.
Thank you for coming.
What is now the museum, he took that house and moved it onto that property.
Right,
And they have a right to develop the property.
I
We don't
understand
have
that.
to, we don't actually have the right to necessarily say, okay, you can build these things, but we don't want the Wawa, we want this, or he gets, depending upon the zone, he gets to build something that it's zoned for. And we have, as the mayor has said, this piece of property historically was always zoned, the front part commercial, the back part residential, which does make sense. When when the township changed the zoning for the previous application years ago, it took the entire property and it became commercial. And it was
All,
a huge,
how
They're
many
all
acres?
30,
acres?
yeah.
30, a huge shopping center that the neighborhood objected to.
Right.
Okay, that matter was proceeding before the planning board. I don't know if you were around or you
I was,
attended
I
all
am.
those hearings.
Yep.
That matter was the same concerns about traffic, and the end result was the council changing the zoning, not back to this, but changing the zoning, keeping it commercial, however, reducing the size of the stores, but it would still be a shopping center, and creating a two-level approach where the second level would either be residential, senior residential, or office space. So that was gonna be an extensive, and a lot of use. By doing what, this is what's proposed here, whether it's done or not, but it's basically reverting it back in terms of the type of use to what the public actually claimed it should be, which was what it used to be. Commercial, residential in the back. Now, in terms of whether that number should be 255 units, like the applicant wanted to do, or the previous applicant, I thought it was 400 units, whatever, or whether that should be 4 houses,
Right.
or
Horse farm.
or 72 houses.
That's what it was.
It's basically, you look at the site, does it accommodate the 72 houses? It appears to do that, and,
Well, not if it's 30 acres, then you're talking, it's less than half an acre per home.
Well, we have such density and more in town. In fact, the 255 homes could, theoretically, they could get an approval on that based on the COA density, the builder's
that's another
remedy,
thing,
Right.
you do have co-
if they wanted to do that. Thankfully, this guy doesn't want to do that.
Yeah, the bottom line here is, can this accommodate 72 homes? It can. Is that like way over and above what's in the area? It isn't. And then when you look at the commercial uses in the front, I mean, they all, aside from, and maybe we agree in terms of, I really would not rather have this, I'd rather have that. There's a lot of other uses I'd rather see there.
Right.
But it's not my property. I didn't pay for it. I don't get to make that choice.
All right, my next question was,
Yes.
how much is this property worth? And
Well, we have it
were
assessed
we-
at 9.3 million.
Were we ever talked about doing a bond or buying it?
We did. I talked about it in 2005. I don't know if you were here in 2004. I proposed it myself. We put it out there and it was defeated.
Why can't we do that again?
Because back then, the property value was different, the price, of course, was different, and the Green Acres money was more abundant. Since then, more and more towns have been trying to preserve their space, and they grade you based on your application. And they'll look at an application like this and say, let me see, Ocean Township, what do you have? They'll look at Burlington, oh, you're trying to preserve a 2,300 acre farm. Good. Ocean Township, 30 acres on the highway? Get out of here. We're not going to give you a nickel.
Well, we
It doesn't
can't-
rate
can't we
well.
expand Doverlay Park?
Well, let me just say this.
Talking to the microphone.
Let me say this,
And
Don.
maybe
Let me
do
just roll
half-
back. Let me give you the entire history, because before these folks wanted to take that old Henderson home that was moved and now is a museum,
Yeah.
it was 72 acres. It was 72 acres. Everything you see, the library, the house
Right.
that we use in the back there for the human services and all that,
Yeah, and the
that was
town.
all part of the 72 acres. Mayor Weldon, when he heard they were selling it, was astute enough to go after and pursue it. He said, I want to buy as much as you can sell us. They said, well, we'll sell you X amount, but not all of it. And he was lucky enough to get the 42 acres, which he did. And we have that beautiful complex that we use as
Yeah.
a second
Agreed.
municipal complex, if you will. And the
Fabulous.
library, which he designed.
It's fabulous, yeah.
So the 30 acres, that's all they got out of it. We did good, kid. We did all right.
I understand.
I know it's not the ultimate. Listen,
Yeah.
do we all want to see it green? Heck yeah, we all live here. Of course we do. Can we
Any-
stop them?
Can we shrink what they're building?
We've been
and-
doing that. We've been going along. I have other plans in my office that shows higher density. We've shrunk it as much as we possibly could without being sued again, for making it so they just can't use it. You can't do that to someone. I can't do it to you.
I understand.
If your
yeah.
folks left you a piece of property and said, look, Don, we're going to zone you out of biz. You'd be
Right.
upset. You thought you had a value here, now you don't. So you have to think of it in those terms.
Oh, I know. I'm from
So
a
we're
family
trying to
of
make it what we
business
call
owners.
smart growth. We're trying to get the best product we can. Where it stands now, as Mr. Long said, it started as a concept, and he's getting more serious because we sent his plan to our planner to pick apart, shrink, reduce, make better. And our planner came back with very gratuitous buffer along Deal Road. In fact, 75-foot buffer along Deal Road. So you pretty much have a nice thick buffer there that you won't really see that development from Deal Road. From 35, it's commercial, of course you'll see most of it there. But the Deal Road buffer that came back is very gratuitous, and that's probably what will be presented to the planning board at a later date. I don't know when. But even at that time, the public has the right to come in and, weigh in on it and throw their 2 cents in. And of course, then there's a planner there on our side, an engineer, an attorney, and a full board.
So we might
there
be
to-
able to adjust.
You never know.
You know.
That's what it's for.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean.
But come to the meeting, when they start their application, you'll have plenty of notice, and, I'm sure it'll be all over every social
news.
media there is.
Right.
And you'll have the right to come out and,
So
have your
how
2
far
cents.
along are we looking at?
He's to the point where now they're going for a rezoning request to the planning board.
Rezone?
Well, they want to rezone it to what we said, the commercial residential, because right now.
Oh, that hasn't been done.
No, we still need to do that, and I think it makes the most sense to do that. So
Okay.
they'll bring it to planning board will come back to us, we'll say, well, of course, regardless of this builder, that makes the most sense for highest and best use of the property. We'll probably go along with that. Once that happens, then he'll probably he'll probably make an application to the planning board, maybe in the fall or winter, I don't know.
Okay, that's soon.
Well, yeah, application, remember, it's probably it's a long process. It's a couple of years before there's a shovel in the ground if anything happens.
I don't plan on going anywhere, so I'm
Good.
gonna still be here.
I'll see you at the Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. Oh, no, no.
I'm
thanks.
kidding.
You know.
And then we'll go to
I
LA
would do.
Fitness and work off the,
That maybe.
we'll see everybody at the turning point.
Yeah, everybody loves a turning
It's
point.
only open for breakfast and lunch.
Yeah, that's okay. But there's still no chance of possibly even buying.
Here's the
that
problem,
property.
and I said it before, the thing is, we had other properties in town that were under proposed development, under COA, and many different things, and we negotiated to bring them down into something,
Not
more.
so dense.
Yeah, not so dense. And we couldn't, it wouldn't be fair to buy one property, not that property. So at that time, folks said, why don't you buy this property? We knew there's probably going to be other properties coming up that would result in like a $50 million purchase, which was inconceivable, can't happen. We don't have it. So even to say, well, now this is the last one, let's try to buy this at $10 million, it's a $500,000 a year increase to the budget, carrying cost for 20 years. Every year you have to increase it. So it just doesn't make sense, and there wouldn't be much help from Green Acres money because it would not rate well.
But I mean, you think, what the mayor just said, every time on any open piece of land that somebody wants to develop.
How much is
neighbors
left?
Come in, there's always, you know what, I've been hearing
You'd
that.
be surprised. You'd be surprised, not.
The neighbors come in
It's
and
not
say.
that much
Yeah.
left.
The neighbors come in, well, right now they're building the enclave in west, in Wayside, and, the people there said, why don't you buy the property? There's another property in Oakhurst, people said, why don't you buy the property?
I don't care about west of 35.
Well, that's the point, right?
I know.
I understand,
I
but
know.
but we're the mayor and council of the entire town.
But this is the heart of our
But see,
township.
I don't know.
but the point of
We love 'em all.
Township is the fact
Particularly
that
Cedar
you drive
Village.
up and down Route 35, what do you see? You see big, vast, open space? No, you see commercial development, because it's the commercial center of all these areas. So it's all commercial development. So to sit there and
That's
say,
okay.
we should,
But behind it,
We
keep
behind it, we
the
got
parks-
our human services
keep
building
the
out of
big-
it. We got those 42 acres
all right,
is
you
what we
have-
got.
You happen to
That
be
was the
lucky
trade-off.
enough to live where behind that you have a beautiful
I-
human services, the library, open area, and then you have Joe Playa Park, which is huge.
And I'm lucky. I have 2 dead-end streets with woods behind me, so
But the
I'm
point
very
is,
lucky.
It's not all
except
Mill
for that.
Road that should be closed off to everything.
No, I understand.
And on the south side of DO 35, there's also vacant land that I understand.
Well, we preserve 17 acres on the opposite corner, that
Right.
in perpetuity, that will not be built on.
Not be built on that.
That's
Oh,
opposing Food Town, just opposite of Food Town.
The jug, yeah, that.
Yeah,
that's
there's 17,
acres?
there's 17 acres there, and builders have been coming after it, and we've been shooting them down. We will not sell it.
Oh, that's good.
So we
Part,
have a lot of vacant land, but it can't be all vacant, you can't take all.
I know, I understand, but part of it also, the more you build and everything, the more it stresses the infrastructure
Absolutely,
too.
yes.
So.
But you know what you get
say
from
it-
that?
You get
You-
tax
you-
rateables, but it
You
doesn't.
do, to
Everything
improve
goes
your
up.
infrastructure. I know it's a catch-22, but that's
Yeah.
what happens.
All right.
I'm not looking at it from the tax rateable point, but if you really add it all in there, it's $1.5 million a year loss, because that's the rateable yield received from that property, about $987,000.
Why is that?
That's how much taxes would probably generate from that property built out. And then
So
if you
it's
add on the
Positive.
yeah, you
But
generate
how much-
987, and you don't have to purchase it for 500,000, so that the net gain's really $1.5 million a year if you let them develop it and try to use that tax money to good use. Maybe make more improvements in the town and more aggressive with our road
Goes to
improvement.
the infrastructure.
We need to
you
do
know.
that anyway, so let's
But
do it.
even owning the land wouldn't mean that it doesn't get developed, because we also have COA issues, whether somebody
What's
comes
COA?
in. Huh?
It's a Coalition on Affordable Housing, it's an acronym.
Right.
Oh.
People will come in and say, well, why don't you take this land that the township owns and
Ah.
build more affordable housing?
They can do that, so.
Oh, I get you.
That would be 100, as he said, 400, that could be up to that many units there.
So you got.
We're trying to get the best product we can,
I get
knowing
it.
that this is what's, the cards were dealt with.
Yeah.
Again, this is a can that get kicked down the road to this
Yeah.
mayor and council, and we have to meet it head on. We can't hide from it, it's here.
Yeah.
And we're dealing with every issue that comes at us as best we can.
But I hear that you care, and you care about it being.
We do care,
You know,
we care very
not-
much
we
about it.
don't- We don't.
First
need
graduating class of Ocean Township High School, so he cares, I care, Donna cares,
Richard Long.
Rich, everybody here cares about it. Richie Long.
Okay. I didn't go to. I went to West Long Branch, but I
Oh, did
grew
you?
up. I'm born and raised in Long Branch.
He's
business
famous.
Family.
He's famous with people of that age group,
I don't know. I think I'm.
which isn't old.
I think I'm past you because.
No.
Yeah, I am. But I have a house that's total. They started with. They were allowed to build on it, at the end of the street, at the end of Jersey.
Well, give
Grove.
the address to our manager, Mike, and then he can look into it for you
Oh, okay.
after the meeting. If you want to come up down and just give Mike the
Okay.
address. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. After me. Okay. Thank you. Anybody else?
Too late.
Thank you for your comments. I
Motion.
appreciate it.
Motion to close the meeting.
Right after the meeting, get to Mike Masillo.
Oh, wait till the meeting's over.
Yeah, we're almost. I think we're almost done. You can't believe he comes up for
So
another
did
bite of
we.
the apple.
We thought he was leaving
Look
too.
at she's laughing.
I thought I was leaving too. But I just wanted to say the mayor has shared with me some of the original proposals
Yeah.
for Route 35 and Deal Road. And clearly they have whittled down the original requests to something that's perhaps manageable, but they will have to wait until the planning board hearing to really understand whether it's fully manageable. One other thing that I forgot. There's been some discussion on Ocean Cares, and I've received some private messages about the Tosa roadwork
Mhm.
in Wanamassa. I don't have to deal with the issue, okay? But I've received a lot of input on it, and my assessment is it's a pure disaster.
Okay.
The
So
question
go ahead.
that I had,
Finish your question.
which I don't understand, is when someone raised the issue to me, I took a look at the TOSA minutes of their board meetings. And when the proposal to redo the sewers was originally made at TOSA, the executive director of TOSA said that they would repave the roads and be responsible for it. But I've heard some input that the township is now going to improve the roads through the capital improvement program. So the question is, who is paying for the road repair?
So I'll answer that for you. So typically when you have road openings like this, and it's a project that they've had on the books since 2013, and they finally got the NJIEA money approval, so that's why they're moving ahead with the project now. And typically they'll coordinate with our Public Works Department on the road schedule. What roads are you paving? Let's see which ones are being opened up and which ones are on the schedule. So some of the roads are on our road assessment program already.
Pre-TOSA's
So
project.
some of them we're going to get done. The ones that weren't on the list, then we're going to have them paved either through them or a contribution from them so we can have them paved. So right now, you got to understand the scope of the work that they're doing. It's a big project and they're probably not done yet. It'll probably be almost most of the summer before they complete it.
Understood.
And they're providing folks with new laterals because the old ones are about to fail, and that would be disastrous if you can't flush. You understand?
That's like the corrugated piping at 1515 Logan Road. Go ahead.
Yeah, right. So, well, they'll probably get a new lateral too. But anyway, the point is they're digging these trenches every so often. They're filling the trenches right now. They're going to let them settle. They're going to come back and mill and feather them out so they kind of flush them out to the street. Then we're gonna go back, reevaluate which roads are in need of repaving and take it from there. So most of those roads being worked on will be repaved, and either they're gonna pay for it, or if they're already on our list for the 2018 capital improvement project, then they'll get done that way. A couple of them were, not all of them. Most of them weren't.
Will the repaving work, based upon your review, be sufficient enough not to reduce the surplus contribution to our ongoing budgets?
Absolutely won't move the needle on it. It's not what it's supposed to be. So again, we have our road improvement program. Some of those roads are already identified. The ones that aren't will be outside of that, and that will be TOSA's responsibility by way of payment to us or them doing the paving. We prefer the payment.
And have we communicated this to the residents of Wanamassa?
The ones who have called me, I have told them about it. And I think I did put something out there on my mayor's page. Again, the page that you reference is not an official Ocean Township page.
We're well aware of that.
So, I mean, I did put a notice.
Yet
probably
it
about a
only
month
has 3
ago.
times as many
But that's fine.
subscribers.
Yeah, I think they're in there thinking they're going to get all kinds of information, which is fine. I have no problem with that either. But, you know, you're welcome to share what I put on there because that pretty much says just what I told you.
And I'll just tell them to go visit the tape.
Okay.
Be a lot easier.
Okay.
Thank
But
you,
yeah, the
Mr.
roads will all be repaired.
Oh, wait. I got to get a picture of you guys. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Anybody else? No? Okay. Seeing and hearing. Oh, well, we're going to close out.
Yeah.
Someone please make a motion to close.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Chair.
Yes.
Council members Long.
Yes.
Naplatani.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Yes. Meeting adjourned. Thank you all for coming. And we air twice a day on channel 77 and 22 at 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. Thank you all for coming.